Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to start learning about quadratic equations. This is a highly important topic, not just for this year, but all for your future years till the time you're doing maths. Okay, you were introduced to quadratic term in class 8 when you started learning about polynomials. But now, let's get into the momentum that what is quadratic equation with respect to this year and future. So first of all, we will know about what is the standard form of a quadratic equation. When we talk about the standard form, it is ax square plus bx plus c equals 0, where a cannot be 0. Okay. This is a standard form where we have ax square. That means we need to have a variable having a power of 2. That is mandatory. And due to that only, a cannot be 0. Because if a becomes 0, that means your x square term will disappear. You will just be left with bx plus c, right? And that would mean you're left with a linear equation, right? So therefore, x square has to exist over there, and hence a can't be 0. Okay. Now, ax square plus bx plus c. Over here, we are given a condition for only a. That means your b can be 0, your c can be 0. For example, if I write now 2x square plus 3x plus 4 equals 0. That means this is a quadratic equation, right? If I write 2x square plus 4, this is also a quadratic equation because we have a term having x square, right? And similarly, if I just write 2x square equals 0, this is also a quadratic equation because what we have x square over here. Attaching a coefficient to x square is not mandatory. I can have x square equals to 0 also, right? We can have just 1 as well, but it can't be 0. A can be negative, A can be positive, but it can't be 0. That is the primary condition. Okay. So this was the standard form, and standard form is necessary to know because later on we will be learning the formulas with respect to quadratic equation, which will be applied only on the standard form, right? And hence we need to learn that. Now, moving on. There is a question in NCERT which says check whether the following are quadratic equations or not. Okay. Now, there are so many parts to it, but over here in this video, we will be doing few of them so that we get to know that whether a particular equation is a quadratic or not. And also, please, one important thing over here, do not go just by the superficial looks. Over here, you can see that the first bracket will get open with a square. And if you decide just by the appearance that it is a quadratic equation, do not do so. Solve it. Either you have become so good that you can solve it mentally without writing, then it's fine. But otherwise, just by looks of it, do not decide whether it is a quadratic or not. Okay, these kind of questions can appear in MCQs, and hence they are actually noteworthy, right? So let's start doing them. In the first one, we have x plus 1 whole square equals 2 times x minus 3. So what we will do, we will expand everything on left, on right, bring it to standard form, and then we'll see if we are having a standard form of ax square plus bx plus c or not. Okay, so let's start doing it. First, I get x square plus 2x plus 1. I applied the identity of a plus b whole square equals 2x minus 6. I expanded on the right hand side also, opened up the bracket, and now we'll simplify. And for simplification, I can see I have got 2x, positive 2x on both the sides. So I simply cancel it out. What I'm left is x square plus 1 equals minus 6. Now 6 will come on the left. So I'm left with x square plus 7 equals 0. Now tell me, is this a quadratic equation? And is this a standard form? Yes, because what we have over here is ax square plus C equals 0. We have C. Okay, if I ask a question over here that it is, I cannot see ax square plus bx. I cannot see the b over here. So what does that mean? It simply means the value of b is 0 over here. So we can still write it in the standard form such that x square plus 0x plus 7 equals 0. I hope it makes sense. Okay. Now, moving on with the second part. Okay, I have written third part over here because I said we will be doing few of them. So this question says now x minus 2 multiplied with x plus 1, and on the right side we have x minus 1 and x plus 3, right? So let's start expanding. What we get is x square. I multiplied x with x and then x with 1. So it will give me plus x, and now I will multiply minus 2 with x. So it gives me minus 2x and then minus 2 with 1. That will give me minus 2. Okay. Similarly, doing on the right side. On the left, I showed you term by term. But now on the right, I am not going to do term by term. So just see how can we save our time and effort. Because opening up these brackets term by term is not going to fetch you extra marks. Okay. We need to be smart with saving our time as well. Now, what I'm going to write is x square. I know that x has to get multiplied with x and it is not going to be solved further. After that, what I'm going to do, just do it in your mind. We will do x with 3, that is 3x, minus 1 with x, that is minus x. 3x was positive, minus x is negative. So we get 3x minus x. That makes it plus 2x. Okay, and the last term, minus 1 with 3, has to be written, and that leaves you minus 3. So what we did, we saved on our one step, which is not something which is highly important over here or something like that. No, we can skip that. Okay. But since I had written it on the left, I'm going to solve it further. So we get x square minus x minus 2 equals x square plus 2x minus 3. Right? Now, see what is happening. We have got positive x square on the left, positive x square on the right. That means we can strike it out. We can cancel it. Finish. Now, I'll simplify everything by bringing all the terms to one side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to shift everything to the left. Doing it, I'm left with minus x minus 2x minus 2 plus 3 equals 0. And here we get minus 3x plus 1 equals 0. Now, we are not solving for x, so do not solve after this step. We were just verifying whether it is a quadratic equation or not. Now, what was the standard form? Ax square plus bx plus c equals 0, right? And the condition was, the primary condition was that a is not supposed to be 0. However, in this one, what we have? We have b, that is negative 3. We have c, that is 1. I'll just mark that. We have b as negative 3. We have c as 1. But what about a? We don't have it. That means it is not a quadratic equation, because we are not left with any term for x square. So this is how you have to solve and then check whether it is actually a quadratic or not. In the beginning, yes, it was appearing that the expressions are going to result in x square. But since it was resulting on both the sides with the same coefficients, it got cancelled and we were not left with any quadratic equation over here. Okay, now let's move on to another part. Okay, so we are doing the seventh part now. We have x plus 2 whole cube equals 2x into x square minus 1. Now, I'm sure that most of you will be thinking, what was the identity? before doing this part. Guys, do revise class 9th, all the identities. They are actually going to be helpful. Okay. I'm writing the identity which I'm going to use over here. That was a plus b whole cube equals a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b. This was the identity, right? So let's start with the substitution now. We will have x cube plus 2 cube plus 3 into x into 2 brackets x plus 2. This is I have expanded LHS. Now moving on with the RHS, we get 2x cube minus 2x, right? I'll simplify the LHS. X cube plus 8 plus, over here we will have 6x. 6x into x gives us 6x square, and then 6x into 2 gives us 12x. So equals 2x cube minus 2x. Okay. So now we will simplify, and what we can see over here, we have x cube on left and 2x cube on the right? So I will shift everything to the same side. Bringing everything to the left gives me x cube minus 2x cube plus 8 plus 6x square plus 12x plus 2x equals 0, right? Now, this leaves me with minus x cube plus 6x square plus 14x plus 8 equals 0. Okay. We have simplified everything. We are not left with anything to be done over here. And what can we see? That it is actually a cubic equation. It is a cubic equation because what we have of the form ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d equals 0. You have got introduced to cubic polynomials also in chapter 2 of polynomials, right? So this is a cubic polynomial and not a quadratic equation. Therefore, at the end, conclude that not a quadratic equation, right? So in this video, we got introduced to what is a quadratic equation. We learned about its standard form, and then we solved few questions to decide on how to check whether it is a quadratic or not, right? I'll again say, do not go by the looks of the initial question to see if it is a quadratic or not, especially in the questions when you are being asked to check. Do expand everything and then write. Even if it is an MCQ, do your working in your rough column or rough page, but do not just try to be smart by going through the looks and marking it in a random manner. Okay. I hope you have learned everything. And now in next video, you will be able to learn how to solve the quadratic equations. Happy learning.